kiddos, celebrating life, the life we live, the life that others have lived, those that have gone on before us, just celebrating in the morning sunrise. Ooh, all the sweet surprises in this life, all the sweethearts arising, ooh, bright and beautiful on this bright and beautiful day, here on that Hazy Radio Network with Grandpa Coyote in your morning wake-up call, known as the Coyote Medicine Show, babies. Yes, indeed. You want to get the fire. You want to get the glow. You want to get the sunrise. Celebrate with us, don't you know? Yeah, babies. We may have to live on the road. We may have to live by a strange code. But, babies, we got it all right. We're doing all right. And we're just carrying forward. We're taking the energy of those who have gone before. And we're progressing in it, man. Going where their dreams couldn't quite take them and, finish the job, man, because that's what they'll have us be, man. No one wants us to be sad when they pass to the other side, because, baby, they're just taking that long Rainbow Bridge ride, man. The moment you depart from this body in this perceptional way, what we see of as death, you've just come back to life, man. That's when the love all of a sudden just hits you. I mean, and it's just there. And you realize then in that moment, it's kind of amazing. Because you're looking at your life, too, at the same time. And you're realizing that love has always been there. And that some of your responses and so forth weren't always in the flow, at least not as you see the love and the way it would go. But then you see that the love did go that way, and that's the way it all went. And it's so perfect. And man, you get so much peace in that moment, the moment of separation. When the love tells you, you feel it, you know it, everything is just all right. Welcome home. Now you can have a little rest and rumination and get to know what you've really lived. And in the meantime, by your expansion of understanding as a spirit being now in the living way, the living catch on even more, wouldn't you say? See, when we live, we make all these divine little connections with different souls in humanity and animal kingdom too, as we go through life, And when we finally pass on in that ancestral sort of way, the energy of all of that carries forward. I mean, and everything that we are attached to becomes far more peaceful when, as we see it on the other side, we get that peace. We get that love that gives us that peace. And we see that love is always there. See, so what we're talking about in terms of transitions now is living in that state over here without having to die to go get it. But some still have to fly, So we're honoring our old buddy Yeshi, who was a local character here in Crestonia, a homesteader if ever there was one, a dirt down farmer, man, and just a beautiful being at that. Loved her animals and they loved her, loved the land she lived on, loved the mountains around her and all the people living in this town. And this lady's really been around, man. She set quite the trail, quite the pace for all of us to follow, man. Any of us that would, claim such accomplishment in our life would probably be big fat liars, wouldn't we? Because this lady really did a lot. She made motion pictures. She was ordained by the Dalai Lama into the Buddhist traditions and so on and so forth. She broke trail where no woman had gone before, man. She got herself going and glowing. She's got a little website out there. I'll share it over on my Facebook pages here in a little while, so you guys can get to know Yeshi a little bit. Even though she's on the other side, I know you feel her this morning, and feel her taking that sweet ride, that very thing that I'm talking about, man. See, once you're on the other side, you're also out of time, see? So you got all the time ever there needed to be. So you experience things far differently over there than you do here. It's like you turned a corner into a dimension that you didn't even know was there. Yet you remembered it because that's where you came from. That's where you went back to, right? You remember the light brought you in. You remember the light, the love takes you back out. See, but we never really, what we're doing is passing into an acting role, living the heart as best we can in a dumbed down and diminished state and trying to regenerate ourselves all throughout it. And baby, there's a billion paths home. And man, I think we've taken every one of them at one time or another. I'll bet we've lived a lot of lives, 1 million lives anyway. At least a lot of us have. Some may be a little less experienced in that, but then they don't need the seasoning. They got it somewhere else or someplace else in another time frame, kind of, you know. But we are the ones meant to be the regenerative sun. The sunrise in humanity, the sunrise from the center of the earth, the sunrise from the heart of the earth, coming forward inside of each and every one of us as a personal representation of the great creation in the heart that begins it all, that mother love, man, that, ooh, man, I can feel it today, man. There's a whole bunch of it being unleashed right now. I can see now why my friend Yeshi had to get underway and make that transition. There just wasn't room enough here for all of that love anymore. She had to go where she could expand and just let it flow into the full part of humanity without her having to have her humble presence around to get in the way. So now she's got her perfect body. She's got her perfect life back. She's got the perfect peace, and babies, it's expanded into us who knew her quite graciously, and all the animals and all the humans that she's touched in all of her long life. And baby, she traveled the world and was accepted in circles as a brave being where no woman had tread before. I'm telling you that she was a real pioneer. We got lots of good characters here like that, you know. It's amazing. The salt and pepper in life that's drawn here to season up good old Crestonia, and all the characters that live in here, and every one of them has a story, and it's quite phenomenal, it's quite dynamic, just like yours is. See, your characters too. You may not be living in Crestonia, but your heart is. A lot of you anyway. And it's like you're just happy little cherubs, you know, surrounded by, you know, a bunch of innocent, dumbed down mopeds that just can't get it out of their backside enough to even see where they're going, let alone appreciate where they've been. I mean, you know, it's like sticking your head in a bucket of sand all the time and paying no attention to anything, just going through the motions of living, you know. Well, there's a lot of that around you, babies, and there's a lot of drama to go with it. And sometimes these people see your light and feel your love, and they don't like you. They're threatened by that, you know. They live in a different space, or at least they have. We've allowed it, understand there's room here for every kind of condition, just so we can live it, just so we can know it. All of us. One person does it, everybody's done it. This is what the personal experience is all about, is personifying creation, going through an experience as a singular being, a little element in life that is the full life, experiencing that little element. See, that's our essential journey here. We are that heart in motion. We are the fullness of creation given in a very, very complete and personal way. Complete in this person, in every way. Because all of creation lives within us as well as around us, as you're beginning to see and understand and be. See, you don't have to believe anything. You don't have to do anything. Except maybe relax a little bit, and there's no have-tos about that. You just will. Whether you're doing it right now or not, or doing it later, or, you know, fighting it, it doesn't matter. The time's coming. It's there. It's now. And it's happening. And it's catching up to you. See, because time and distance, time and space, are kind of collapsing in as we accelerate our progress into our truth here. Ooh, and man, yes, she has added a lot to that acceleration. Let me tell you, I'm feeling the waves of that vibe. She would have loved to have it otherwise, but this is the way it is. So now this is the way it gives. And so we got this expansive love coming through us and coming out to you, you know. There's also a little grief, a little heartache there that we got to help her work out right here and now, babies. So let's just give Yeshi our moment of peace, our moment of love, in this unified sort of way, and help Yeshi along the way. There she goes. Light the heart up. Let's get it underway. We love you, Yeshi. You are the life we're living now. And we take it forward from here for you, just like we do for all of our ancestors too, man. And thank you for being it, and thank you for the love you shared here, and thank you for the characteristics that you shared here too. Baby, you just rock. And we love you for it. You know, guys, I'm going to sneak out of here at 8:30 this morning, which is 10:30 Eastern Time. I'm going to put you on a rerun for a little while, just so I can go pay my respects, just like I'm doing right now, and I don't have to be so verbal about it there. Just go be a quiet, they say mourner. I'm not a mourner. I'm a celebratory kind of guy. You know, I feel the grief of the separation, but I feel the integration of the separation, and therefore there is no loss here. What she was seeking to do on the physical side, she continues to do on the spiritual side, don't you know? The Rainbow Bridge, man, she's standing right in the middle of it. Bridging worlds, radiating love like crazy, babies. And guess what? Because she's doing it, we're doing it too, because we're all in it together. You see, that's the beauty of the person. You can be so alone in that person, yet you are never separate from anything. It all lives inside of you. And me too, of course, all of us. We are the forms of creation. You know, in our image, let us make this human being. That's what was said in somebody's legendary bullshit book, right? But it is like that. We are a reflection of the image of the universe. See, the universe made us as the children of creation. Yes, indeed. But see, you can't look at it as a time thing. It doesn't work that way. There wasn't, well, a beginning, and then the universe created us, and then we can't, that blah, blah, blah. See, that's the old way of seeing things. In the multidimensional, we're being created by the universe right now. It's always happening. And the universe is experiencing our creation through our person. See, that's what I mean when I say we're the Truman Show and then some. Everything we live, every element of feeling we deal with here, every moment that we live, all the drama to go with it, is lived right along with you by the universe that creates you in that moment. You see, it's the heart in motion. And the entire universe is participating with us, all of it, in every moment that we live. There is nothing secret, nothing hidden. You're like on the big screen all the time, babies, and you are performing one of the greatest acts and activities ever undertaken by a personal presence. It's just unheard of in this reality where everything else is a collective and all activity is a collective, and we're no exception. We are a collective too, and we work collectively whether we know it or not. We just experience it personally. Like no one else in the universe, yet everyone else in the universe catching on now because we're getting it too. We're finding out what it is to live as a person. And we're beginning to integrate that with the fullness of our creation. In other words, return to the place where we began, which is always the beginning going on, see? And all this experience we've gone through is just seasoning on the good old salad of life, man. And boy, it's a lively salad, man. You take a little chomp on this, it ain't goat food, man. This is food for the gods, man. Yeah, indeed. And the goats are gods too, man, of course. They give us their sweet milk, and don't bitch about it too much. I mean, all of us in the animal kingdom too, as yes, she well knows. She was a farmer at heart, man. All of us are working together and supporting each other throughout all of our weak times in creation so that we can more experience the full times together, unified. You know, even that's talked about in that old biblical legends. And a lot of the other legends too from way back in the Hindu days and so forth. It's written down everywhere. It's a story that's been going on forever. Because guess what? It never stops. It's always beginning and always beginning again, and it's always been there forever. And it goes on forever. These are just transitions and changes and great experiences we're going through. But because we could survive this kind of habitation in a superficial world, well, by golly, the whole entire universe and every life on it gets to be in the full presence of our experience too, and gets to experience it as their personal form. Whatever that might be, you might be a grain of sand. You're still the whole universe and all the experience in it. And everything gets to experience the person because we finally got the hang of it. You see, we're finally catching on to what being a person is. We had to go through a lot of emptiness in order to find that. We had to go through a time of the most grievous agony that's ever been endured by anyone. Yet understanding at some level below that grieving that there can be no grieving, that it's all love. This is what each death teaches us. To come back to life a little more inside, to recognize there's nothing here to get worn out about. There's nothing here to let you get worn down by. Nothing. See, when you stay loving, when you are in this moment of creation where you see everything as it is, quite purely, or at least feel it, then you're dealing with life in a different way, from a whole different perspective, wouldn't you say? And all of this drama will not take you away. You won't be reactive to it any longer. Who gives a hoot what people say about you? It's nice when they say good things, and yeah, it doesn't feel that great when they're not talking nice about you, but guess what? You can't take that personally. That's the whole experience. The person and the personal is all in the heart. It's all given in full-time love, just like you experience when you pass to the great beyond and hit that rainbow bridge. Yes, indeedy, man. And then you see, and it's too late then in a sense, because you stepped outside of time, then you see how the love has been here all along. And whatever grief you might be holding is gone. Finally, you get to sing the heart song and party with the angels. Well, babies, you don't got to die to do it anymore. We're dealing with death in a really different way these days and getting far more creative about it. You just got to hang on here, listen to a little more tunage to make your heart large. Let your own heart grow. Let this perspective blend into you, babies. Let yourself see what's really here. Don't deny it anymore. Notice how you've been fighting it all along. That there's this little bit of you that just doesn't want to let go. It says, no, no, no. This is my reality. This is where I live. This is it. I can't do anything else. I can't. I won't. Like a kid who doesn't want to quit wearing diapers or something, eh? Now do you see why we call us babies, baby? We are the baby children of the universe, the very light by which creation comes into being, and the beautiful truth in motion. And babies, I think we should just celebrate it all day here on Free Day Friday, babies. Yes, indeedy, because you got that little jump start here from Grandpa Coyote with your morning wake-up call on ever-loving Hazy Radio Network, and of course the Coyote Medicine Show. Oh, darlings, it's living in the flow, don't you know? Yeah.